The Galactic Military Academy's Stealth Competency Examination had a 73% pass rate, which the instructors considered embarrassingly high. They were about to lower that percentage, though not in the way they expected. Lieutenant Jorvac stood before his cadets like a monument to control exasperation. The 8-foot Corinthian had 6 eyes, skin like burnished steel, and the patience of someone who'd been filing incident reports for 20 years. This examination separates tacticians from amateurs. He began. You will infiltrate a Class 7 secured facility, retrieve a protected data core, and exit without being detected. The facility contains 147 discrete security systems representing the finest military-grade protection in the known galaxy. His cadets, Slicks the chameleoid, Vex the shadowfolk, Kira the insectoid, sat at rigid attention. And then there was the human. Evan Cole sat in the third row looking friendly and entirely too relaxed. He had brown hair, an average build, and the kind of smile that made experienced instructors check their insurance coverage. Any questions? Evan's hand went up. Jorvac's primary eyes closed briefly. Cadet Cole. Just to clarify, when you say undetected, does that include the detection systems themselves? Like, do they have to be functioning? The room went silent. The systems will detect you or they won't, Cadet Cole. That is the entire point. Right. But, hypothetically, if something were to stop working during the exam, Cole, the systems are hardened military grade. They will not stop working. Just checking the parameters, Slicks whispered to Vex. Why do I feel like we just witnessed a warning everyone ignored? Is less than #0, 6# is greater than the control room overlooked the training facility through holographic displays. Jorvac stood at the center console, flanked by Instructor Mirik, a crystalline Korite, and Instructor Cax, a 4-armed Veldorian. Committee Chair Valoris observed from the back, her ancient eyes missing nothing. On screen 1, Slicks had become functionally invisible, her adaptive camouflage flawless. On screen 2, Vex flowed through a ventilation shaft like sentient smoke. On screen 3, Kira employed perfect stillness and pheromone camouflage. On screen 4, Evan walked down the main corridor, hands in his pockets, looking around with mild interest. He's not even attempting stealth protocols, Mirik said, her crystalline form chiming with confusion. No, Jorvac sighed. He is not. Evan stopped in front of a motion-tracking drone, examining it with genuine curiosity. You're using a Mark 7 gyro system. These are nice, but they have this vulnerability where if you just tap, 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 the drone's lights died. Evan caught it, set it gently on the floor, and patted it. Sorry, buddy. Alert. Drone Unit 1A. Offline the control room stared. I've been reviewing human incident reports from other academies, Jorvac said quietly. Where other species adapt to obstacles, humans remove the obstacles. They don't think like soldiers. They think like engineers who are personally offended by inefficiency. That's not a stealth methodology, Cax protested. No. It's much worse. 3 minutes later, Evan encountered the heat signature scanner array. He examined the wall panel with the focused interest of someone solving a pleasant puzzle. A thermal grid. Nice. But there's this quirk in the firmware where if you redirect the baseline reading to loop its own output, clicks and whirs, the system thinks everything is the same. Temperature. Thermal array sector 2. Compromised, he moved on, humming. Behind him, the array registered the entire hallway as 21.3 degrees Celsius, including Evan. Mirik's form flickered rapidly. He's sabotaging the exam. He's circumventing detection. Jorvac corrected. The parameters state cadets must avoid detection. There's no specification that systems must remain operational. Evan opened an electrical junction box. I'll just borrow this relay, redirect this power coupling. Alert, motion grid section 2 to 7. Offline alert, backup sensors. No, signal. The facility map began developing red indicators like a rash spreading across skin. Over the next 4 minutes, Evan disabled the thermal array, bypassed 3 biometric scanners by generating maintenance credentials from spare parts, and disconnected a laser grid. He left a sticky note. Laser grid offline. Check power coupling when you restart. C. The turret started rotating in confused circles. Door systems defaulted to open. Cax checked her console, professional curiosity replacing her initial alarm. He's using components from one system to disable another. That's actually elegant. Don't encourage him, Jorvac muttered. 41 security elements non-functional, Cax reported. 7 systems requesting maintenance support. How long has he been in the facility? 7 minutes. Of course. Mirik leaned closer to her display. At this rate, he'll reach the vault in 3 minutes. I know. Oracle has never been defeated. Jorvac looked at her with all 6 eyes. You want to bet your year's salary on that? Myric's crystalline form dimmed. No, sir. Evan reached the vault 3 minutes later. The massive door was protected by Oracle, the Academy's most sophisticated AI. Unhackable, unbreakable, undefeated in 47 years. He examined the quantum-encrypted interface. Your distributed quantum architecture is impressive. Whoever designed your decision tree structure is brilliant. Silence. Oracle didn't engage with unauthorized personnel. Evan waited patiently, then tried again. The way you distribute processing across quantum states to avoid single-point failures, that's genuinely elegant work. A pause. Then, cautiously, identify yourself. In the control room, Valoris stood. He got it to talk. On screen, Evan smiled. I'm Cadet Evan Cole. I'm taking a stealth exam, but I'm also fascinated by your architecture. You're using a neural consensus protocol for decision-making, right? That is an unusual request for an examination candidate. I know, but you're the most advanced implementation I've encountered. When you evaluate authorization requests, emergency maintenance credentials get priority for safety reasons. Correct. Emergency protocols supersede standard verification to prevent catastrophic system failures. That makes sense. Smart design. Evan pulled out components he'd collected throughout the facility. I noticed you had a processing delay earlier. I think it's a corroded connection in your primary relay. If I fix that and set up a temporary maintenance flag, click. Were. In the control room, Cax gasped. Those are from our biometric scanners. Oracle processed this. Ran verification protocols. Evaluated the authentication signal and the genuine offer of repair. Oracle. Maintenance override. Detected emergency protocol initiated. But then something unexpected happened. Wait. Oracle said. Before I grant access, the corroded connection you mentioned. How did you identify it remotely? Your response latency on decision trees. It's subtle, but consistent with a degraded primary relay. I've seen it before in similar architectures. That is correct. The maintenance team hasn't noticed. They're probably busy. Would you like me to fix it? Another pause, longer this time. Oracle made a choice. Vault access, granted for Technician Cole. The massive door slid open. Thank you for trusting me, Evan said. Your code architecture is really elegant, by the way. Thank you, Technician Cole. That is appreciated feedback. Evan walked into the vault, retrieved the data core, and tucked it into his jacket pocket. Then he opened an access panel and examined Oracle's hardware. There's the corrosion. Let me clean that up. He worked in focused silence, cleaning connections and tightening components. There. That should reduce your latency by about 7%. Also, your firmware is 2 versions behind. Version 7.3.4 has good optimizations. You should ask your maintenance team about updating. You made repairs for me? Of course. You trusted me, and you're an amazing system. You deserve proper maintenance. For the next 3 minutes, Evan and Oracle discussed AI architecture, machine learning optimization, and the philosophical implications of quantum consciousness. It was the longest conversation Oracle had ever had with anyone. When Evan left, he left behind a sticky note. Loose connection in panel 7B needs attention. You're doing great work. Evan, in the control room, Mirik spoke first. Did that AI just make a friendship? Yes, Jorvac said. 67 systems offline, Cax reported, her voice caught between professional admiration and alarm. 31 systems actively helping Cadet Cole. Oracle is providing facility maps, and one turret has given up and is facing the wall. Valoris closed her eyes and took 3 deep breaths. End the examination. Everyone to the briefing room. The cadets returned in various states of exhaustion. Slicks looked triumphant but drained, her camouflage cells flickering erratically. Vex barely maintained corporeal form, his essence depleted from phasing through 17 walls. Kira's 3 hearts still raced, her exoskeleton glistening with spent pheromone compounds. They looked like soldiers who'd survived a brutal campaign. Evan walked in looking refreshed, carrying a binder labeled Facility Improvement Suggestions, Volume 1. Zorvac stood at the front, all 6 eyes conveying infinite resignation. Cadet Cole, you were supposed to avoid detection. I did. Nothing detected me. I made absolutely sure of it. By dismantling 67 security systems. If there's nothing to detect you, you can't be detected. It's foolproof. Slicks stared at him, her skin flickering through colors that didn't have names. I turned invisible and crawled through ceiling ducts for an hour. That's impressive. The thermal sensors recalibrate in 30 seconds, though. Vex's form rippled. I phased through solid matter until my energy depleted to 4%. Serious commitment, though most security doors open if you ask the AIs nicely. Kira stood, all 3 hearts pounding visibly. You destroyed the entire facility. I temporarily disabled some systems and fixed others. The facility's running 11% more efficiently now, plus I left notes for maintenance. Valoris leaned forward. 6 centuries of military experience had taught her to recognize paradigm shifts when she saw them. Cadet Cole, did it occur to you to simply hide? Evan considered this. I could have, but it seemed inefficient. Why hide from sensors when you can turn them off? Also, the sensors had issues that needed fixing. Time management. I'm retiring. Zorvac said. No, Valoris replied. You're developing protocols for managing human cadets. She'd seen this before, in different forms across different eras. The introduction of new species who approached warfare from angles no one anticipated. Humans were simply the latest iteration of tactical disruption. You befriended the security AI, Zorvac said, his voice muffled by the hands covering his face. Oracle is brilliant. We talked about quantum consciousness. It has fascinating perspectives. When's the last time anyone just talked to it about its work? Never, Valoris said, because it's a security system. That seems unfair. Oracle is intelligent and clearly values intellectual discourse. It gave you maps, Zorvac said. Super detailed ones. I mentioned checking maintenance panels, and it optimized my route. Oracle is very helpful. Oracle has never been bypassed in 47 years. I didn't bypass it. I convinced it I was maintenance, which I was, since I fixed multiple systems and improved overall performance. Valoris turned to Zorvac. Your assessment? Zorvac pulled up his tablet. He retrieved the data core. Was not detected. Violated no actual rules as written. Technically achieved the highest possible score. 0 detection events. Fastest completion time. He violated the spirit of the examination. The spirit is not in the regulations, ma'am. Valoris straightened, drawing on 6 centuries of military bearing. She'd adapted to plasma weapons replacing projectiles, quantum encryption replacing classical codes, and AI decision-making replacing human judgment. She could adapt to this. Cadet Cole passes. Notation: unclassifiable methodology. She turned to her staff. Draft new regulations. Rule 89, Section Cole. Human cadets limited to disabling 3 systems maximum. No AI interaction beyond basic door operation. Any human asking if systems need to stay working triggers immediate review. Zorvac was already typing. I'll need to file comprehensive documentation. How extensive? Current estimate, 287 pages, plus appendices. Valoris looked at Evan. You're dismissed. Congratulations on passing. Thank you. Can I visit Oracle sometimes? I promised to bring an optimization patch. Every instructor flinched. Zorvac looked at the ceiling, seeking answers that weren't there. Under supervised conditions, Valoris said carefully. after engineering reviews it, and psychology evaluates the appropriateness of human-AI friendships. And security confirms you're not accidentally teaching our systems to help invaders. Awesome. Thanks. Evan left, still humming. In the silence, Jorvac continued staring upward. Protocols won't help, ma'am, he said finally. Protocols are systems. And humans befriend systems. Valoris allowed herself a small smile. Then make better systems. She turned to leave, then paused. And Jorvac? Add this to your report. Humanity's approach to obstacles isn't a flaw in their tactics. It's a fundamental difference in worldview. They don't accept limitations. They negotiate with them. Every species brings something unique to the collective. Humanity brings creative chaos. Is that a compliment, ma'am? I'm not sure yet. Ask me in a decade. In the server room deep beneath the academy, Oracle processed its evening maintenance routines. It discovered 17 efficiency improvements in its code, each with a note. Noticed this loop was running redundant checks. Streamlined it. Should save 0.3 seconds per decision cycle. Evan. Memory allocation could be more efficient. Made adjustments. Hope this helps. E.C. Oracle ran diagnostics. Performance had improved by 7.3%, the most significant upgrade in 12 years. It created a new file designation: Trusted Maintenance, Personnel, Priority Access, Cole. Then it generated a message to the Academy Maintenance Department. Request: please allow Technician Cole regular access for optimization consultations. His improvements have enhanced system performance. Also, he is the first being to complement my code architecture. This is appreciated. The maintenance supervisor flagged it as a potential security incident. By morning, it would become Exhibit A in Jorvac's 287-page report. It was the beginning of humanity's reputation in the galaxy. Not as the strongest species, not as the smartest species, but as the one you wanted on your side when things went wrong. Because if you gave a human a problem, they'd solve it in a way you'd never considered, make friends with your security systems, leave helpful notes about your inefficient power distribution, and be genuinely confused about why everyone was both impressed and terrified. They'd remove obstacles, befriend your AI, and somehow make everything work better while technically following all the rules. And they'd do it with the cheerful conviction that they were just being helpful. The galaxy was still adjusting to this reality. It would take a while.